How you doing, guys? Hope all is well. So this is going to be without a doubt one of the most important videos of the whole entire course. And the reason I am showcasing it at the beginning of this module before we actually get into product selection and how to pick a winning product, all that kind of stuff. I showcased this before because it truly is that important. And what do I mean? Well, you need to know every single number, every single cost, every single expense that as it pertains to sourcing and selling an Amazon FBA product. And this never gets talked about among even inside of paid courses to the extent that I'm going to be explaining it in the video here. And the reason it's so important is because it can set you up in the future for years to come, and it can have such a drastic impact on the direction and forecast of your business long term if you don't know these types of things. I didn't know these types of things when I first began. I wish I did. Luckily for me, I've only selected and sourced products even from the very beginning that luckily, ticked all the boxes that I'm going to show you in today's video. But for a lot of people, they don't. They're not that fortunate. And I'm here to make things as clear as humanly possible so you can avoid any of the shortcomings or pitfalls that inexperienced sellers have to experience all the time. So we need to know what our numbers are. So let's go over to this sheet. And by the way, you're going to be getting this sheet for 100% free. It's going to be below this video as a Google Sheet. As you see here, I'm going to be sharing it with you, so you can refer to it whenever you like. So everyone likes to talk about profit margin when it relates to their product. That's all they care about. That's all they obsess over is profit margin. And that's understandable. It's a very important metric in regards to your product, in regards to your overall profitability, no doubt about it. So what exactly is your profit margin? Well, that's just basically if you were to sell a product for $20 and it costs you $10, everything included, every single expense was $10, cost of the product, Amazon fees, everything like that, then you'd have a 50% margin, right? It's because you'd be making 20 and putting in 10, so 50% margin. That is generally a very good profit margin on Amazon. In fact, there's not many people who do over 50%. 50% is pretty amazing. You can achieve more than 50% if you sell really high ticket goods, like, that cost maybe a couple $100s. But then you also have to take into account the fact that those high priced, high ticket items are usually going to be bigger and bulkier unless you're selling like an iPhone, which you probably aren't going to be. So I digress, but let me get into what actually ROI is. So again, everyone always obsesses over profit margin and things like that, but ROI is a insanely important statistic and piece of data that, if you know, is going to set you up for the future. Let me explain. So what is ROI? Well, ROI is return on investment, and how to find that number is you take your profit per unit and divide it by the landed cost per unit. What is landed cost? Landed cost is the total all-in cost that it costs you to source the product. So that includes the product, that includes the shipping, that includes your logo, that includes your packaging, that includes any sort of miscellaneous expenses that might be along the way, for customs or freight. Absolutely everything needs to be baked in. That's your landed cost. So example, if you're making $7.82 profit per unit and you divide it by a $2.25 landed cost, you arrive at 3.475. Multiply that by 100 to arrive at a percentage, and you're at a 347% ROI. On a larger scale, again, this is really what you need to get out of it. On a larger scale, that means if you invest $10,000, you're going to get 44K out of it. Now, that's a pretty insanely good investment or return on your investment, wouldn't you say? And 347% is just for the example purpose. That's not going to happen for you in the real world. It's going to be it could, right? I'll never say never, but 347% is a bit outrageous. But for the example, I wanted to make it so. Now, why is this so important to dial this in? Well, because two products can have the very, very same profit margin, but totally different ROIs. So let's say you boil it down to two winning potential products that you want to, go all in on, source from China, plunk down a few $1,000s. and you're like, man, like which product should I go with? You know, they both have a 30 or 40% profit margin. Like they both have they're both going to make me the same amount of money, right? So it doesn't really matter, right? That's what you would probably be saying to yourself. And you wouldn't be an idiot. I'm not calling you stupid in any way. You just don't know any better. So you don't know what you don't know. And what I'm about to show you will completely clarify things, and you'll be able to pick a clear-cut winner with no problem, even if the two products have the same identical profit margin. So I'll get to what the FBA calculator is in a second and where you can get it, but this is the example that's going to blow your mind. So let me get to it right now. So we have a dog bowl and a camping tent. Okay. So in the hypothetical scenario, these are the two products that I've boiled it down to. You know, I'm going to go all in on one of these products, so which is going to be the better decision. So the sale price of the dog bowl is $14.99. These are all the fees, profits, losses associated with Amazon. And I'm going to show you in 1 minute exactly how you can find all these numbers that you see here on the screen, so don't worry about that. So the sale price of the dog bowl is $14.99. The 15% referral fee, that is Amazon's cut. No matter what product you sell on Amazon FBA, they take a 15% referral fee. That's just how it is. That's their cut. Monthly storage is a few cents per month per unit. FBA fees. Now, what is FBA fees? FBA fees are the costs that Amazon charges you for them to ship your item, pick it, pack it up, and ship it to your customer once they buy it. Because once somebody buys, and you know it's Amazon Prime, your product is going to get shipped from the Amazon warehouse. You're not going to see, touch, or do anything. It's all going to be on an automated basis, which is why this business is so amazing. But of course, in order, Amazon needs to charge you something in order to provide that amazing service. That's the FBA fee. What's the landed cost per unit? I just explained that. That's just your product cost, but including absolutely everything like shipping, packaging, logo, all of that stuff. So how do we know what our profit is? Well, we have to take our sale price of $14.99, subtract it, okay, by our total fees. So that $10.53 number you see are all the fees above added up. And that comes out to $4.46 profit per unit, like net profit. That's net profit. What's your profit margin? How do you calculate your profit margin? Well, you take that net profit number of $4.46 and you divide it by your sale price of $14.99. So you have exactly a 30% profit margin on this dog bowl. Not terrible, not amazing, but pretty standard, especially for your first order and first product. 30% is certainly not bad. And there's one other thing we need to find now, okay? What's our ROI? What's our return on investment? And remember how we find that? I showed you at the top. We have to take our profit per unit and then divide it by our landed cost. And 4.46 divided by 2.2 is 202% ROI. Very good ROI, actually. Anything over 200% is pretty good. So we have everything dialed in for the dog bowl. We know exactly what to expect before we even begin to invest a penny into this product. Is that not valuable information? Okay, let's go over the camping tent and just run over this comparison example. Sale price is $40, much more high-ticket item. The 15% of $40 is $6 because obviously 40 is a higher number than $14.99. Monthly storage is a little bit more. I'm surprised it's not more than that, even, to be honest with you, because it's a big item. But anyway, 33 cents. FBA fees are $11.55. That's because it costs Amazon more to actually pick and pack and ship out the item due to its size. And the landed cost per unit is $10 all in for this big camping tent. So what's our profit? $40 sale price minus the total expenses above, which is $27.88. We're making $12.12 profit per unit. What's our profit margin on that? Well, $12.12 divided by 40, which is our sale price, right, is a 30% margin. So these two products have the same identical profit margin. They're vastly different in size, shape, appearance, cost, everything, right? but they actually do have the same margin in this example. And again, this is purely an example. These may not actually be, this is just for example purposes. I just want you to know that. So yeah, they both have a 30% margin, but the thing you need to pay attention to is right below that, the ROI. So 202% for the dog bowl, but for the camping tent, look at how high our landed cost is compared to the dog bowl. It's $10 compared to $2.20, and it's killing us for this example, right? It's killing us. Because if we take 12 profit divided by 10, we're only at a 121% ROI. Big difference in the dog bowl. It's almost half. I mean, that's a massive difference. And before I go further, let me show you how to actually find all these numbers with the click of a button. Okay. So you see Amazon now. I typed in camping tent into Amazon. I am going to scroll down to the Coleman tent. And now that we're on the Coleman tent product page, there are 2 Chrome extensions that you can go with. So this right here, AMZ Scout FBA calculator, you can literally type that into Google. It's called it's an FBA calculator, and watch what happens when I click it. Okay, it's amazing, right? We can input our product cost. We can input our shipping cost. Don't worry about CPC or taxes. It even puts in the price. This guy's selling it at $53.50, so that's why you see this number here. You can adjust this price to whatever you plan on selling your product at. Product weight, it already knows because it's tapped into the Amazon ecosystem. Product size, it already knows the dimensions. It already knows the monthly storage fees. It knows the pick and pack. It knows the Amazon 15% referral fee right here of $8. It even can estimate its monthly unit sales. So this guy's apparently selling 2,400 of these tents a month. And it even sums it all up down here. Total FBA fee, margin impact, ROI, estimated monthly profit. Now, why is this so high right now? Why is this so high, right? Why is the ROI actually infinity? It's because we actually haven't put in our product costs. So we're not going to worry about shipping costs because remember, we baked everything in and called it our landed cost at $10. So that includes the shipping. So we're going to put in 10. Now the numbers are going to be a little bit more accurate. So 2366 margin impact, ROI is 236%. Estimated monthly profit is $56,000 for this example. Now this tool is great and all. This tool is great. It's a great FBA calculator. It can give you most of the information. But I want to show you an FBA calculator now that is even better. And don't worry, they're both 100% free. This FBA calculator that I'm about to show you though was just recently made, and it was designed by one of the best people in this entire business. His name is Ben Cummings. He is a legendary Amazon seller. He's a great guy, and I trust anything that he puts out because he is an upstanding guy and only puts out the best quality content and softwares, anything like that. So I'm going to show you his software, and I'm also going to show you where to get it. It's totally free. Hopefully he would even enjoy me giving him a few referrals. So this is what the Chrome extension will look like. It's called the Ultimate FBA Calculator. Again, I'll have a link to it underneath this video. You just go to bencummings.com. But it's more accurate. The reason I like it is because it's more accurate, it's more user-friendly, and it's just easier for me to read. So let me click that. Okay, so this is what the Ultimate FBA Calculator looks like. This is the one I recommend. This is the bad boy right here, okay? So we have the dimensions. Well, maybe it looks weird like that. We have the dimensions. We have the weight. We have the outbound shipping weight. We know the size tier. The price automatically gets put in. We have the estimated time in storage. I would just leave this at 1 because if you follow all the instruction throughout this course, you're not going to have things sitting in inventory for more than a month because we're going to be selling. Unit manufacturing cost. We're going to put this at $10. Now remember, the $10 includes the shipping. So below this, you see estimated freight cost. This is the estimated freight cost of what a normal, typical freight shipment will cost you. It's $200 per cubic meter. Now, for the sake of this, we're not going to be doing freight. and we already know our landed cost, which includes shipping. So I'm going to go ahead and put this at 0. Now we know for a fact everything that we're making. So we know our storage fees. It even calculates the slightly higher storage fees in the peak months of the year, which is October through December. We know our FBA fee. We know our 15% referral fee. We know our ROI, and we know our profit margin. And we even know the ROI and profit margin within the peak months of the year, October through December. So 236% ROI. We're making $23 profit per unit and a 44% margin. So incredible value, incredible knowledge to know. That's where you get all these, that's where you get these numbers right here, okay, in literally the click of a mouse button. Okay, so remember, link below this video will take you to this page where I think you just have to input your email, and you will get sent this software. It's an amazing software. Highly recommend it. Highly recommend anything Ben Cummings puts out. So that's that. So this is the real staggering lesson that I'm going to get to right now. This is where you got to pay attention right here. So we know all this information. We're going to do a little forecast. So if we were to source both these products side by side, what would that monetary forecast end up looking like over the course of time? Okay. Again, we both have a 30% margin. Our profit per unit sold is $4.46. Profit per unit sold is $12.12. Our landed cost $2.20. Landed cost $10. ROI is $202 for the dog bowl. ROI is $121 for the camping tent. Look at what your money can turn into and transform into over time. We can turn $10,000 into $30,000 based on this 202% ROI. The $30,000 then becomes $90,000. The $90,000 then becomes $270,000. The $270,000 then becomes $810,000. That is where it really starts to snowball, right? Because we have such a high ROI. I hope that makes sense, right? So 202% ROI of 10,000 is 30. You know, I'm rounding, obviously. It's not going to be exactly 30, but I hope you get the point there. But look at the difference with the 121 as compared to the 202. Our 10,000 only gets turned into 22. Our 22 gets turned into 46. Our 46 gets turned into 101. Our 101 gets turned into 222. Do you see this difference right here? This right here, right, is absolutely insane. This dog bowl is going to allow you to scale and profit so much faster than this camping tent. Okay, this camping tent is going to be a lot more cash flow intensive, a lot more capital intensive on your end. This dog bowl is going to cost you less money and make you more money. You know, it's absolutely insane. This is why I highlighted this video at the beginning of this module, to just give you this idea, get your mindset in the right place. So when we actually go and we start researching and picking products to sell, you can enter that process with a totally different frame of mind than if you were to enter that process without knowing this information, right? You're going to be looking at things way differently now, aren't you? And you're going to be looking at things like a savvy, seasoned seller right off the bat. Honestly, this is one of the most important videos of the whole course. Ridiculous amount of value in this training session. I hope you can understand that. So in the next videos, I'm actually going to get into some specific strategies, how we're actually going to go out there and pick our products. And a lot of this, what I just explained in this video, ties into that and is going to pre-frame your mind and plant the seed for what to look out for. So again, check out below this video for any of the resources I mentioned, and I'll see you guys in the next video.